Fuck!
Welcome to episode 5 of the Mediocre Company podcast, where we're gonna talk about nerdy stuff.
Pretty much it, yeah.
I'm Eric, sitting
I'm
next to
Clayton.
me. Yeah.
That's me.
And currently MIA is our other co-host Andrew. I'm assuming he's just dead in the wilderness somewhere.
Where the fuck did he go?
I don't know.
Better be Vegas.
Well,
Or, even better, a nerdy place that isn't Vegas.
yeah. Honestly, I'm pretty sure this is going to be our worst episode yet without Andrew, because we're not going to have his hair. Just the spirit of his gorgeous locks just raining down on us.
Yeah, it's almost like it takes up a lot of time making those locks, cutting those locks.
Yeah, bastard.
Interrupting times. Anyways.
So how you doing?
Me?
No, Andrew's not here. Of course you.
Oh, I thought you were asking the computer. I was like,
Why
they
would I be
can't
asking?
answer. They're not in a conversation. Oh, I'm good though, by the way.
Good, great, glad to.
How are you?
Fuck.
Anyways.
Hear anything new? Any news related to what we do here?
No, I mean, it's been a pretty uneventful week, I think. After Comic-Con, everyone took a step back and chilled a little bit, so...
Right before this, I was just looking to try and find the first picture of Snoke from Last Jedi, and it wasn't on the first link I opened, so I just gave up.
The one that proves Snoke is a youngling?
Yes, that's great.
Master Skywalker, what are we going to do?
There's too many of them.
I hate Luke Skywalker, fuck! Anyway, I feel like most people don't understand what the hell's happening right
But that's fine.
now. So yeah, I guess with no news to report,
We can just jump in.
what do you, are we doing the movies that we shouldn't have paid money for?
Yeah,
Awesome, do you have your list? Where's your
I
list?
do. My list's on my phone.
Oh, okay,
So,
good. You and your
To
list.
start this off, I think we're gonna start off with the most recent movie I sadly paid for.
What?
Transformers 5.
The last night?
The last Transformers movie I'm gonna see. No, it's not. It's not.
You're gonna watch every single one, because
Yeah.
it's just what you are.
Okay, up front, I'm glad I saw it, but I would not put my worst enemy through it.
Fair enough. Oh, we should probably say now, disclaimers, any of the movies we mention here will probably be spoiled, so
Yeah.
if we do mention a movie, and even though we're saying that we regret spending money on it, for some reason you still want to go out of your way and see it, and don't want to be spoiled, you should probably, wait for that. That aside,
Yeah. And
back to
when we
Transformers.
do talk about Game of Thrones, I'm gonna put in a spoiler warning just in case Andrew, for some reason, listens to this
and hasn't seen
and
it
hasn't
yet.
seen it, so I'm just gonna
Yeah,
throw that in
when
there.
we send reviews, it's assumed that there will be spoilers.
Yeah,
so.
because who wants to listen to us morons talk about a movie without spoiling it? Because it's going to be like, yeah, no, it was fine. It was good.
There are things happen that I can't tell you about.
Yeah, exactly.
There was explosions because Michael Bay.
There was certainly a lot of Michael Baying.
And Mark Wahlberg did Mark Wahlberg things with his accent and
Yep.
in Boston.
It's like you saw the movie.
I'm sure Bumblebee did things. Do they even transform into cars anymore?
Okay, so... Alright, let me explain to you this movie. It was a while ago that I saw it, so I really don't remember it, which is probably for the best.
PTSD.
But Mark Wahlberg, some random kid that I don't know who it was or what he was doing.
Isn't it a girl?
No.
Oh, okay.
All the Transformers and the Dinobots are kind of... All the Transformers but Optimus are just chilling in a junkyard. That's where they've been hiding out. They go to Chicago, which is where the third movie happened, and rescue this small little girl who's got this tiny little BB-8 ripoff. And then they do a thing. They get attacked by Megatron, who has this weird Suicide Squad-esque scene where he's trying to get his friends out of prison.
I thought Megatron died. Okay.
That is not important.
Okay.
Because they all died, I think. Yeah, so Megatron is, like, bartering with the U.S. government to get his some of his friends out of prison so that they can go and do a thing for the U.S. government. It's like a straight Suicide Squad ripoff.
Was Megatron voiced by a sassy black woman in this film?
Yes, surprisingly.
Suicide Squad ripoff.
But, like, it was like, I need Mohawk, and then it would show the Transformer Mohawk killing some people or robbing a bank, and then it'd be like, I need... Oh, God, I don't even remember their names. One of them was, like,
Angry
Zeus or
Spot.
something, and they're like, no, we can't give you him, he's too dangerous, and, like,
Yeah, because the other one that murdered people wasn't too big.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Why are Transformers robbing banks? What are they gonna do with that money?
No.
They're gonna walk into Walmart and buy a new, like, fucking couch or something? Like, what are Transformers using money for?
It's Michael Bay. There's no plot or story that's important.
Just explosions.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I shouldn't ask plot-driven questions.
God, yeah. So then, Megatron and his Suicide Squad come up to Mark Wahlberg, and then the Dinobots have a bit of a punch-on. And that was kind of cool. You get to see the Dinobots kind of do something. Yeah. Oh, and they're Transformers way back in ancient, like, times because of the Knights of the Round Table, because logic.
What?
Yeah, so, you know the story of Sir Arthur and the Excalibur and the Knights of the Round Table?
Yep.
The Transformers were there.
Why? You think in medieval times someone wrote down that there's gigantic mecha robots?
Well, they wouldn't know what metal is, so they just thought they were monsters.
No, they wouldn't know what. That's swords. Metal. Swords, metal.
True. They wouldn't know what a machine...
No, they wouldn't know what machines were.
But
like...
So, Stanley Tucci, who was in the fourth one, is back as Merlin, and he goes and talks to one of the Transformers, and he's like, the one guy's like, here, take the staff, it'll let you control the dragon. And then these 7 knights transform into this giant 3-headed dragon, which is kind of cool. And then they kill things, like...
It's weird.
Yeah. The whole movie looked really pretty.
I'm sure.
Because that's what it's supposed to do. Then Mark Wahlberg goes to England, and there's a weird C-3PO knockoff. Yeah, his name is Cogman, and he's like a person-sized Transformer. And he's essentially C-3PO, but a little more psychopathic.
Is he a Transformer? What does he transform into?
Nothing.
He's not really a Transformer, he's just a robot.
Yeah, but he is a Transformer. He's that species.
They're a species?
Yeah, they come from a different planet.
I thought they're just robots.
No, they're a species. It's like you didn't even pay attention to the important plot lines of the first 3.
I haven't seen that Shia LaBeouf movie in fucking a long time.
I can't even say that with a straight face. Yeah, so that's kind of the Earth-based stuff. Optimus Prime flies off to Cybertron.
Is that where they're from?
Yep. He meets the creator of the Transformers. She's like, you're gonna go find the staff. You're now reborn as Nexus Prime. Go get him, kid. And he goes, and there's like talking and hot brunettes running around like there always is. And then... Michael Bay. And then they get together, and I swear to God, Optimus Prime said at least 7 times that he was gonna kill someone. His most famous quote was, I'm Optimus Prime and I'm gonna kill you! Or I'm Nexus Prime and I'll kill you!
But I thought he was a good guy.
Oh, not this time. Him and Bumblebee punch for about 3 minutes. And then the power of friendship brings them back together.
Well, that's gay.
Not really. Well, it kind of is. But then Optimus Prime takes his full-on sword swing down on Bumblebee, and Mark Wahlberg, who had this weird artifact, sticks his hand out and it becomes a sword, and for some reason, Mark Wahlberg can stop the full-force strike of a Transformer.
Wow, he must be doing a lot of bench presses.
Yeah, Pain and Gain really got him there.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Alright then.
Yeah, there was so many times during that movie, I just took off my 3D glasses and was like...
Had to take a break.
Alright. Breathe. There's still 40 more minutes left of this.
Oh, Jesus.
There were at least 7 scenes where it was just the human character shooting towards the screen. I have no idea what they were doing. I don't know what was going on. There was just Michael Bay jizzing in the background, like... God.
It sounds like a rudimentary... no, that's not the right word. I lost my train of thought. It sounds good!
No.
I guess the whole entire point of this bit, though.
Yeah. So I'd say, to give this a solid ranking, it was... Probably like... Jeez, I don't even know how to say this. 3 BB-8 knockoffs?
Knockoffs. Well, I can't even give it a rating because I haven't actually seen the movie, so...
Yeah, I don't know.
Anything else you want to say about that?
No.
That's a special piece of cinema?
I'd rather not. Do you have one?
I was thinking about it. I'm pretty open to most movies. One, though, that I'll have to say... So, anyone who knows me knows that I'm a DC fanboy. I love DC, and I do try to defend them whenever they do something. But one indefensible movie that they've made, in my opinion, is Suicide Squad. So if I'm gonna have to put anyone that would have meant something to me, but I was hurt by, it's gonna have to be Suicide Squad. That movie was like, it just, I don't even know. See, the thing with Batman vs Superman is like, I enjoyed the movie and I liked the movie, and I don't think it's nearly as bad as everyone says it is. There are bad parts, but at least I can look at those bad parts and say, like, there's other things they could have done. I don't even know where to start with Suicide Squad as to why it was as bad as it was. Yeah. It was just like a clusterfuck, really.
Yeah.
Like, they try to introduce like 10 different characters all at once, and so you end up feeling like you only really know half about 2 of them, and then the rest are like what's Captain Boomerang do other than rob the occasional bank? I have no idea.
He threw 5 boomerangs.
True. He has a thing for fluffy unicorns.
Apparently.
Slipknot didn't even get an intro. It's almost like you knew he was gonna die. Like,
yeah.
There's no hiding the fact that he was gonna die. He didn't even get an intro.
No, there was no character development other than Will Smith.
And that's a little bit of Harley Quinn.
Yeah, and they wanted to make Will Smith not even look like that much of a villain, because for some reason Will Smith just won't play a villain.
Yeah, and then Joker was the most interesting character in the movie and got the least screen time, which I understand. I understand that they didn't want to give him too much screen time because it's a Suicide Squad movie, not a Joker movie, and he can steal the show. But if you're gonna put him in there,
I wanted him to steal the show.
But I think they either made him. I don't know. Like I don't know how you balance it because otherwise it doesn't turn into a Suicide Squad movie anymore. But it's just like a Joker movie featuring the Suicide Squad, and that wasn't what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it's just the fact that they introduced all of these characters into a team up movie.
Yeah, they tried to do that in their 3rd movie, is to do a big team up of not even heroes, of villains,
and not even well known heroes.
No.
Like almost everyone. Maybe if you don't know the backup to like the Flash and Cyborg, maybe not Cyborg, but Flash, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. Like everyone knows of like Batman, Superman, Flash, and all them people because they're popular. If you were to go before Suicide Squad had come out, you were to go up on the street and be like, hey, you know that that anti-hero Katana?
Yeah.
They'd be like, isn't that a sword? And you'd be like, yeah, she's named after the sword.
Yeah, that steals souls. And they're like, what? Okay, what about El Diablo?
Isn't that the devil in Spanish? Yes.
Yes. But he's a dude that can turn on fire and apparently grow into a weird giant devil thing.
Have you heard of Slipknot, the band?
No.
The Failure.
Better. Yeah.
Maybe some people will know who Deadshot is, but anyone who doesn't really read comics or like anything like that probably still wouldn't. Harley Quinn's the only name that most people will recognize.
If you know Batman, you might know Killer Croc.
Yeah, if you're really into Batman, you might know Killer Croc.
But let's be honest, if you're really into Batman, you'd probably know what's going on in this movie anyway.
If you're super into Batman, you'd know a couple more of the characters. But Captain Boomerang, you have to be super into the Flash to know who he is, because he's not even... He's one of those people who goes into the Flash, and I have no idea how he ever competes against the Flash, because it doesn't make sense.
I don't know how anyone competes against the Flash.
Other
the
than
Flash
Reverse
is
Flash?
Yeah. The Flash is the stupidest, smart, fast guy I've ever met.
I know. How is he a scientist? He's an idiot.
God.
Like, he always he feels the need to start every fight by announcing the fact that he's there to the enemy, giving them a chance to attack.
If you can run that fast,
why don't you just like tie them up and then taunt them?
Yeah.
They won't even know you're there until they're tied up.
God.
They can't react that fast. The only people who should be able to fight against the Flash are people who can
other speedsters
at least comprehend like half of the speed he does. Like other speedsters and like maybe it's people like Superman or something like that, or like Darkseid, because they can kind of like go.
Yeah.
It's not as fast, but like can kind of comprehend it. For the most part, how fast he's going, but there should be no way that a guy who throws boomerangs and robs banks can stand up to the Flash. It shouldn't be possible, but we're tangenting here.
Correct.
As for Suicide Squad, it was just... My complaint is just they try to put every character's backstory into a 2-3 minute little clip, and although some of the clips were fun, like Harley Quinn's clip was fun, you got to see some Batman in there. Deadshot was also fun, you got to see some Batman in there. Captain Boomerang was fun, you got to see some Flash in there. Although
I didn't know he was in it.
Yeah, which is cool. Although you really didn't learn anything about Captain. The only people who you actually learn anything about in their background is really Harley Quinn and Will Smith. Yeah. Because they're the only ones who actually get intros. Like, you find out about Will Smith's daughter and Harley Quinn, where she was with Joker and stuff like that. Captain Boomerang, you're like, yeah, he used to rob banks, and now he doesn't because Flash caught him.
He's Australian.
El Diablo killed a bunch of people, now he's in jail. Yeah. From fire. Yeah. Killer Croc killed a bunch of people, and now he's in jail, and he looks like a crocodile.
Yes.
Who else was in that movie? Slipknot doesn't get an intro.
No,
Katana gets like a 30-second intro. Yeah, someone killed her husband, so now she kills a bunch of people too. But for some reason, she's not in jail.
No, because she works for the government. Enchantress,
she also gets some intro, but that's only because she's the villain.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I like about Suicide Squad is I didn't know who the villain was before the movie started up.
And
that was a cool little surprise.
They had to do that because if they had set Enchantress up the villain,
then
it would have been like, an even worse movie,
probably. But not that she was a fantastic villain, anyways. But
yeah.
I mean, if you were to look at it just villain aside, she's probably the Margot Parker villains anyway. So let's be honest here.
I agree.
Relatively forgettable. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really have too much to say about Suicide Squad just because they're like, unlike some other movies that might be on this list, I don't even know how to redeem it. If it was me, I probably would start from square one and just redo it. Or maybe just wait for Suicide Squad until you introduce a couple of these villains in their respective heroes' movies and then pull them together. So
have
it makes
a Batman
sense.
movie where you introduce
Harley Quinn, Joker,
Deadshot,
and Deadshot can be in there.
Throw in a Killer Croc Easter egg, and then bring them in.
And in the Flash movie,
why don't we make movies?
I don't know. I feel like we'd actually do a pretty okay job.
Purely ideas wise, I feel like I'm not a good writer.
Oh, I'm a writer. Yeah. I got like 96 in English.
Jeez, I got an 80 once because my prof didn't read my writing.
I'm a good writer. We could do good movies, but we just don't have the money and people don't care about us because we're two random white boys in Guelph, Canada.
Correct.
Anyways, so yeah, I don't have much more to say about Suicide Squad. What else is on there?
I got Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed. Oh boy. I don't know. Okay, like there's been movies I've been more excited for, but like the excited to disappointed ratio, that one might sit like nicely under Suicide Squad for excited for it and then horribly disappointed.
So full disclosure for Assassin's Creed, I didn't technically pay for it, but I did use a free scene points, which is even worse, really.
Because I count that as paying because you paid for those scene points. So
I'm a very big Assassin's Creed fan. I loved the games. I'm still an avid fan of the games, even though everyone else hates them.
I don't think people hate them. Unity sucked and they kind of fell out of popular status. But
Syndicate was really good. I'm looking forward to Origins.
It looks cool.
Yeah, and I didn't have high hopes for this movie, but kind of deep down, I did.
I didn't have high hopes. I just expected it to be like a mediocre kind of video game based movie.
Yeah,
but like
I like Michael Fassbender.
He's a good actor.
Yeah.
And wasn't Jeremy Irons in it too?
Yeah.
He's a good actor, and was there anyone else in it who's notable?
Not that I picked out. Again, it's been a while. I saw it last Christmas.
And haven't seen it since, so why would I?
Yeah.
I don't know, like, it's just...
Again, to give it some credit, the parkour was beautiful.
Yeah, it was really cool action and stuff like that.
But
what was the story?
The same as all the Assassin's Creed games. They have to get the Apple of Eden through the past, and then bring it... They have to find the Apple of Eden in the past
and find out who has it and where it's in
get it in the future and do a thing.
I don't know, it's just...
There was one scene when Michael Fassbender is fighting a dude, and the female protagonist that we're just going to name Female 1, because I don't remember her name.
Yeah, her name was...
She had a bow and arrow, and she was like tracking him as they're fighting in this small corridor, and then she just banks the arrow off of the wall and then hits the dude that isn't Michael Fassbender. Me and my 3 friends I saw it with started hysterically laughing in the theaters.
Because physics.
Just in tears laughing. These poor people next to us probably were very upset, but we were so obnoxiously laughing. It was great, because
arrows don't bounce like that?
No.
They're not bullets, this isn't Wanted.
She's not Oliver Queen.
She's not Oliver Queen. Even I don't think Oliver Queen can bounce arrows like that.
Not a normal arrow.
Physically,
he had a punching bag arrow.
I don't think that's a bounce either. It's just like the weight distribution of an arrow. I don't think they bounce.
Yeah, and
because it's all the weight's on the head. As soon as it hits, it's just gonna momentum into the wall and stop moving.
And if it did hit the wall, and then even if the arrow tip did bank a bit,
no, they're not forced to kill a human.
No, and then wouldn't the shaft just scrape the wall and it would just drop?
Yeah, like physically, I am pretty sure that is impossible. Yeah. Even if it was possible, I don't think it would come off the wall with enough momentum and speed to instantly murder a guy.
But there was one time when I saw it with my brother as well, and there was a horse just chilling on the roof, just following everyone, and my brother lost it. He's like, why is there just a horse on the roof during this chase scene? And it was just trailing in the back, and you could just see this horse following the crew.
I don't even remember that.
God, I don't know, I didn't see it, my brother picked it, and I'm like, that's fantastic.
That's funny. I don't have an answer for you. Why is there a horse there? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was a stinger.
Yeah, I don't know. I walked away from that. Like, I wasn't expecting great things because video game adaptations for movies are relatively rough. And I think the main reason for that is just trying to fit a whole entire, 20 hours of video game playing into a 2-hour movie.
Yeah,
it's just a hard thing to do.
Did you see Warcraft?
I did not. I kind of wanted to, I just didn't get around to
Yeah,
it.
me too. I bet the CGI was fantastic.
It looked really fantastic. I heard actually conflicting reviews.
Yeah?
I heard some people said it was, really bad. Some people said it was, mediocre. Some people said they actually enjoyed it. It's one of those movies that if I ever, see it on a stream or see it on Netflix or something like that, maybe I'll watch it. But
if it's on Netflix and I'm flipping through, I probably won't go searching for it online.
Yeah, I probably won't go searching for it, but I don't know. Just video game adaptations have a rough time just because of that specifically. But I at least expected some semblance of plot. Usually when I see a movie, even if I don't remember exactly what happened, I can remember the general synopsis.
Well, yeah.
The
only reason I do is because it's the same as all the video games.
See, you can say that, and you could be completely wrong, and I wouldn't know the difference.
I could be wrong too. I don't.
You might just be it honestly could be that.
Yeah.
Or it could have different things in it, and we just don't remember because that's just we block it out because Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Remembering else, Ezio.
Ezio.
Never forget Ezio. Still the best assassin.
Ezio Auditore da Firenze.
Firenze. Yeah. Any more to say about Assassin's Creed? Other than the fighting was cool and everything else is...
They set it up for a sequel.
Yeah. Yes, they did. They did set it up for a sequel.
Very much set up a sequel.
You think they're going to make it?
Nope.
Probably not.
Not a chance.
I really hope that eventually, the Uncharted movie or, if they make the Last of Us movie or something like that, can finally pull a good video game movie out.
See, but those... I don't know why they would. Uncharted and The Last of Us, those are movies in themselves. I don't see the point of making that a movie. Assassin's Creed... games. Well... At least with the Assassin's Creed movie, it's a different story than.
Well, I don't know what they're doing for The Last of Us. I know for the Uncharted movie, they're doing a prequel, right? Yeah, a prequel. I guess Tom Holland, I think, was the person who was rumored to be Nathan Drake. Last time I read something about it, I think it was a rumor Tom Holland.
I saw a tweet on the Twitters. Hang on. Talk to the listeners.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll talk to people. He's looking at his phone. He's scrolling. He's still scrolling. Tom Holland might be Drake, but younger Drake, not older Drake. It'll be before... Oh, what the fuck's the first game? Drake, Uncharted, Drake, something, Drake,
Revenge.
Nathan Drake. No, Revenge usually isn't the first one.
Deception.
It might be... No, I think...
Lies.
Deception was one.
Was it?
I think one was Drake's Deception.
Nailed it.
I could be wrong. I think it was Drake's Fortune is the first one. Nah, it's gonna bug me now. I'll look it up later, though.
Hang on.
Gotta keep talking.
I'm getting there.
Gotta keep talking.
You'll appreciate this.
I feel like we should have just shut up and then cut this out, but now we're just too deep. We're just too deep.
We're in too deep, and we're trying to keep up. It's a meme about Tom Holland, and it made me quite laugh this morning. So it says, Tom Holland is cute, but he constantly looks like he's hiding a frog in his mouth. And it's uncomfortably hopping around in there, but he can't open his mouth or the frog's going to escape. And then it's 3 pictures of Tom Holland, and that is very accurate.
That is the most unique and imaginative, metaphor I think I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
I don't know how he came up with that, but thank you for bringing that into my life.
You're welcome.
Got
another one?
Well, I do have another one, but I don't know if we want to save this for last because it's by far the worst movie any of us have ever seen. And you know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's Fox's.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Do you want to save that one for last?
Yeah, okay.
Let's save that one for last, because I feel like we have a lot to say about that one.
Next on my list was Expendables 2.
Oh, boy.
Saw
I haven't
that
seen
one
that
in
in a
theaters.
very long time.
Oh!
Oh, I couldn't even... It had a bunch of old action stars who are, for some reason, still making action movies. And...
They made a third one.
Oh, I know. I watched the first 15 minutes and turned it off because I was bored.
Didn't even see the third one.
I saw this. Terry Crews is in the second one, wasn't he, as the villain?
No, Terry Crews is in all of them.
Was he?
Yeah.
I think he died.
No, in the first one, he's got an automatic shotgun, and that's the only thing I remember from that movie.
Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, he's in it.
Jason Statham.
Jason Statham had a scene with knives.
He always has a scene. Isn't he the knife guy?
Yes. Baby Hemsworth was in the second one, but he died really quickly.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yep. Yeah, I really don't remember much of that movie. The only thing I remember is Jean-Claude Van Damme, I believe, was the villain.
Jesus.
And then...
Isn't he a wrestling star, like an old WWE star? Nice.
And then him and Sylvester Stallone are having a fight at the end. And then Stallone walks out with a bag and a very spherical object in the bag.
Is it a head?
It's Jean-Claude Van Damme's head. And then this, old woman sitting down the row from me goes, "Oh my god, that's his head!"
Thank you.
We got that.
Thank you for the shout out, you hag.
That is all I remember from the movie.
Did they really have to spell that out? That was his head?
She didn't. I don't know why she decided to yell that out as if the rest of the audience didn't get
already
it.
know that?
But I certainly was confused. Thought it was a bowling ball.
Oh, yeah.
Very glad.
Well, he went in and fought Van Damme. He killed him just like a stab at the chest. And he's like, hey, look at this like nice little globe. This is a fantastic globe.
You're right. He
He
put it
has
in
a bag in
bag.
here. Oh, there's a bit of blood on this bag, but I can just wash it off the globe. It's fine. It's fine. We're good. And just walk out with the globe. Honestly, I haven't seen that movie in so long, I wouldn't even know what to say about it, so.
I think there's a plane. Or maybe there isn't a plane.
There's a plane in at least one of the 3 movies.
There's
At least one plane in one of those 3 movies.
Yeah.
Expendables.
God damn it.
Kind of describes the way the movie works.
Yeah.
It's kind of expendable.
Yeah. Alright, let's see what else I got. I have Transformers 3 and 4 on my list, but I really don't want to talk more about Transformers. Other than that, I didn't mind 3. It wasn't fantastic, but Transformers 4 I felt was rough.
Wasn't that the worst one, some people say? Between the 4th and 5th were the worst ones.
Yeah.
It's probably the same complaints, no plot, lots of
Weird
explosions.
explosions. There were dinosaurs that were in it for about 10 minutes at the end. Yeah.
Anyways.
I have Pirates 5.
Okay, that was more recent.
Yeah.
Pirates 5. What do I say about Pirates of the Caribbean 5?
Dead men tell no tales.
Incorrect.
Because they're dead. And they don't have any tales
Well,
to tell.
some people
Not
come back.
actual tales.
White Walkers have tails.
Like
Okay,
actual
like
tales?
stories, not like tales.
Oh.
That'd be weird.
That'd be really weird.
White
Can you
Walkers
imagine?
had like ice tails.
Just like
I feel
Jon
like
Snow's going up against him.
they'd look a
blocks the
lot,
sword.
and the tail was up in the side, stabs him in the neck. Jesus.
Why do you think that?
Because we're weird.
Correct.
Would it be an ice tail?
I would assume so. Kind of
Probably,
like
'cause they're all-
Nightcrawler. You know, that's
like
what I'm
made of
picturing.
ice.
Yes.
That'd be cool. It'd be cool. I mean, I feel like it'd actually ruin their aesthetic because they're all kind of like creepy, and that would just look weird. But oh well, whatever. Anyways, Jar Jar Martin, take notes.
We know you're listening.
Yeah. Fuck. What do I even say about Pirates? Like, it was like,
It was fun.
of all the movies that we talked about so far, it was like,
Yeah.
if I had to see one of them again, this might be the one.
My biggest complaint was Jack Sparrow. In the other movies, you know, like, think about the first Black Pearl when he gets away from the very first time. He slices a thing, flies up, it cracks down, troops fall in, he swings around, and he runs away and gets away. He clearly had it planned, he knew what he was going to do. 90% of Jack in Pirates 5 felt like complete luck. Like, you remember the guillotine scene when he just survived because it just kept swinging?
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't Jack being Jack. That was pure luck.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm not sure if that was on purpose to show that Jack is washed up, but, like, I don't know, it just didn't...
But I don't want Jack to be washed
No,
up.
it didn't have the same...
It didn't have the same ring.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was majestic.
Yeah.
Didn't fit the music.
It did not fit the music.
I don't know, and like the new characters were like solidly okay.
They were...
The chick was pretty okay, and the guy was like
Discount
okay.
Will Turner, discount
Yeah,
Elizabeth
they
Swann.
were just shittier versions. Of
Yeah, except she was a scientist that everyone thought was a witch.
Well, that was weird. Interesting. I don't know. Like it's fine.
Yeah.
I guess. At best, it's fine.
Yeah.
But like I don't know. I think they realized in Pirates of the Caribbean 4 that as amazing as Jack Sparrow is, Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann also like are part of the thing that made those movies great.
Yeah.
And then they didn't have them in 4 and were fucking shit on 4.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, well we can't just randomly put them back. So they're like, what do we put these people in? And like they're kind of like them. But
One of
not
them's
them.
the kid, and then...
Yeah, one of them's a kid. The other one's just a female who's
Surprise
strong.
Barbossa's daughter.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
And then, but it's still. I count the Pirates of the Caribbean as a trilogy, and then there's 2 other spin-offs.
Yeah. Yeah.
As far as I see it, but I don't know. I mean, it was better than 4. In my eyes.
I agree. Jack was better in 4 because he was doing Jack.
Was Jack, but, like,
But
the
movie itself
was
yeah,
better.
it was better than 4.
Better for
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Barbossa's daughter was like, why?
It's weird.
I feel like that kind of like I don't know. Barbossa's character is always kind of like. I feel like that kind of ruined his character a little bit. Like it gave him that like redemptive feel, but at the same time he's a fucking pirate. He doesn't need a redemptive feel.
That's not.
I like
they're not tragic.
Barbossa was a fucking dick. Like that's why I liked it
Yeah.
so much. He's an asshole. Like he steals things whenever he can. And he's like always competing to try and get the Black Pearl, and he's just a fucking dick. And that's why Barbossa was fantastic. And then like all of a sudden he's like, oh, but he actually has this daughter he really loves, and you're like, oh,
wow.
But why?
Yeah.
And like, who was the mom, and why is
they
why
did it?
She know, and who? How does he even know who she is?
Yeah.
Like, why wasn't he there earlier if he cares so much about her? Like,
they did it so they could kill him off and we could feel something.
I guess, but
that was his
necessary?
second death. He had already died and then come back.
In the first one.
So death is meaningless in this universe. Jack died and came back.
Will Turner had his heart cut out.
Yeah.
But I guess it's magical.
Yeah, but
He's
like
about to die.
death is not
A super huge
Yeah,
consequence.
like
I mean, I don't know if they're gonna make any more. Do you think they're gonna make more? I hope they don't. Just stop.
yeah.
Disney, you have so many other properties to make movies for. Just chill.
Yeah, you've got
Leave Pirates
Marvel
alone.
and Star Wars.
Yeah, keep making Star Wars movies. You can
And
make 2
Incredibles
Star Wars
2.
movies a year if you want. I'm okay with it.
I'm very okay with that.
I like Star Wars movies.
I do like Star Wars.
Bring Obi-Wan Kenobi back. I want to see Ewan McGregor. That's a conversation for another time.
Yeah.
I just love Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, me too. He's pretty great.
Yeah, I don't know. Pirates of the Caribbean 5, Dead Man Tell No Tales is just a mediocre thing that... when you watch it, you're like, I kind of want to watch the other ones just so I can feel something again for Pirates.
Yeah.
But
I always forget how long they are.
Are they?
Yeah,
It doesn't feel like it.
the first one's 2.5 hours.
Oh, that's pretty decent. Time.
And it's a breezy 2.5 hours. Like,
if you had asked me how long it was, I would have said 2 hours or most. So, I mean, when a movie's good, you can sit through as long as it is and not complain. The only movie I've ever felt with length was that how long was the extended edition Lord of the Rings: Return of the King?
oh god, that's 4.5 hours.
When I sat in that beanbag chair the whole time. And by sat, I mean uncomfortably splayed myself across that beanbag chair for 4.5 hours.
I think you may have gone up once.
By the time that movie was over, as much as I fucking love Lord of the Rings: Return of the King, it's like my favorite Lord of the Rings movie, and I love Lord of the Rings, but God, that was painful. There was no arch support in beanbag chairs. I know that now. And, it's bad for your back,
It
folks.
really is, yeah.
Like,
I mean, no wonder you've been hunched over since then.
yeah.
It's really, yeah.
It's just weird, it's disgusting, it's scoliosis and shit, but, fuck, like, I don't know, if you ever see those, like, swanky new houses, like, those hipsters are buying beanbag chairs, like, you should tell them, like, you're gonna get a bad back.
Yeah, man.
It's a serious
It's not good for your
medical
posture.
health condition, like,
Yep.
sit up straight.
Yep.
You inconsiderate piece of shit.
Yep.
Anyways, moving on from that.
Well, that actually we can segue quite nicely because...
A movie about beanbag chairs?
Yes.
Which one?
Hobbits.
Still Lord of the Rings. I
Yeah.
get the segue.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hobbits.
Yeah, I mean...
So I didn't pay for the first one. I didn't... When the
Really?
first one had come out, I hadn't seen Lord of the Rings.
Really?
I didn't see Lord of the Rings till grade 10.
What?
I know. That's weird because I'm obsessed with Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I just assume you've been watching those for as long as I have.
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay
The
then.
first time I watched them was with Wyatt, and that was the day I chipped my front tooth on an arrow.
Did you chip your front tooth on an arrow before or after?
So we watched the first Lord of the Rings,
And then decided to go shoot
well,
arrows at each other?
then his dad, and we got about 2 to 3 minutes into Two Towers, and we were just gonna binge them.
As one does.
Yeah, and then Wyatt's dad was like, "Yo, come help me clean up all this stuff outside." So we're gonna putting stuff away, and he had a bow and arrow and a little target.
Yeah.
So us being bored naturally took the arrows, and we're just trying to throw them into the target. So Wyatt and I are about from you and me apart, and I'm like, "Toss me the arrow." So he tosses it, it hits my hand, and just spirals inway and hits me right in the front tooth, full tip. It didn't feel it, like it kind of was like, "Ow, that's weird," and I'm like, "Huh, there's something wrong. Is it bad?"
Is it bad? Why it's like, no,
Yeah.
no, it's not.
So then we go inside, and they're like, "You should probably call your folks." And I'm like, "Yeah." So I chipped my tooth on an arrow, and my dad's voice was, "Ugh."
You can hear the disappointment.
Yeah, and he's like, "Lisa," and she gets on the phone. She's like, "So the dentist doesn't open till 7, so you can come home if you want, or you can just stay and
do your thing.
yeah." So I'm like, "I'm just gonna stay and keep watching the movies." We sadly couldn't finish the trilogy that time because I had to go and get my tooth fixed.
Yes.
But we the next day I think we watched Return of the King. But
That's God,
Yeah.
your poor dad.
Yeah.
He's probably like, your son needs you. Our son? Your son.
Your son. Yeah.
Why couldn't he just play basketball with his brother?
Why couldn't he just play sports?
Why couldn't he be cool?
But yeah, so I hadn't seen the first Hobbit. So then I'd watched it after I had read the book and watched all the movies, and I quite liked the first Hobbit.
Yeah, I like the first Hobbit too.
And the second and third Hobbits are good.
But would it be better if there were one movie?
I'm just a big Lord of the Rings fan, so they were just disappointing in that sense, right?
None of the Hobbits will ever be as good as any of the Lord of the Rings.
Exactly.
Even the worst Lord of the Rings, which is Fellowship, is still a fantastic movie.
Exactly.
Is better than the best Hobbit.
Exactly.
Which actually, I can't even really say.
The first one.
Probably the first one. It was the most true to the books, I think.
It was almost word
for word,
like,
yeah. Which is nice. Yeah. I mean, the Hobbits, I definitely was going to see them. 110% was going to see them. Whether or not, if I could go back in time knowing what I know now, if I would have seen them in theaters, I don't know. Yeah. See, I still might have. I still might not have. It probably depends how much money I had at the time.
True.
It's like if I have like $300 sitting in the
working.
bank, yeah, because if I had like a lot of money for my part-time job that I wasn't paying for like food and stuff that I do now, then maybe I would have just gone see it because I had the money.
Yeah.
If it was like, if I have like the money I have right now, I might be like, no, I'll just see when it comes out.
Yeah.
Similar to some other movies like The Mummy. Like, I wanted to see it, but I knew it wasn't going to be fantastic, so I saw it free instead of paying money for it. Yeah, I don't know. I enjoy the Hobbits when I watch them because of I love the universe, and I also really like Martin Freeman.
He's so
I love
good.
watching him in like any role, and Benedict Cumberbatch is a great smile. And like,
for anyone who doesn't know, Clayton and I have a minor obsession with shared universes between Martin Freeman and Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, we have our wall kind of goes into a corner, and we have three posters in like a little picture of all the shared universes of Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman. Sherlock, Hobbit.
I didn't know who they said.
And then Marvel, there's Doctor Strange.
A gigantic, beautiful picture of Doctor Strange.
And then a small picture of Martin Freeman as...
from Civil War.
As...
Everett
Ross, yeah. So, but yeah, like the movies, like, I feel like the Hobbit movies would have been better if Lord of the Rings hadn't come first.
Yeah, I agree.
Because, like, if you didn't have it to compare...
Exactly.
Like, if you were watching the Hobbit movies fresh, you're like... Maybe if you read the book, it would have been similar, but if you've never read the book and never, like, read or seen Lord of the Rings, and you watch the Hobbits, you're like, these are cool.
Yeah.
These are fine movies.
And the CGI is good CGI,
but
compared to the amazing practical effects of Lord of the Rings,
the original Lord of the Rings, it just doesn't compare.
Like, they got hundreds and hundreds of mine workers to dress up as orcs and Uruk-hai for the Isengard scene, where they just had one CGI character and then replicated, and that's your dwarf army, that's your elven army, like...
Yeah, it's like... Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, if Lord of the Rings hadn't been a thing first and you watch the Hobbits, I'm sure they actually would have been great movies.
Yeah.
It's just, when you take the Hobbits and compare them to the Lord of the Rings is just...
It's very similar to the Star Wars prequels. Like, people who grew up on
the originals. I feel like if the prequels had come first, you would have watched those and fucking loved them.
Yeah, they would have been great.
You might still hate Jar Jar, even though Jar Jar's obviously the main character of the movies.
Yeah, he's the main protagonist.
He's Darth Plagueis.
Yeah, he is Snoke.
But just it's the comparison to the originals that people hate on them for, which
is unfair.
It's unfair, but it happens. Even I fall victim to it too when it comes to the Hobbit. Like, because as far as I'm concerned, the Hobbits are just the things that weren't Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
but which sucks because there is a lot of talent in the movies, and they did there is a lot of things that they did well.
Yeah,
in the movies, it's just no matter how much they did well, they didn't do it. They didn't do the same amount of well that Lord of the Rings, or maybe even not quite like in a comparable state. Lord of the Rings is like, it's probably your favorite movies of all time.
Yeah,
and it's my second favorite series of all time, next to Star Wars. And like, we revere these movies, so it's kind of hard to take something you look at as like a godlike series of movies, and then the Hobbit's like, no matter how like good it is, it's not them.
Like, I haven't. Of the 3 Hobbit movies, I've seen the first one extended. I haven't even seen the second 2 extended edition movies.
Yeah. Well, I haven't even seen Lord of the Rings, all of them extended. But I still haven't seen Fellowship.
There's not too much more.
That's what I've heard. There's too much more. It's not like Return of the King where you get an extra hour.
Yeah. I think Sean Bean blows this Horn of Gondor a couple times.
I've seen the clips on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
I've seen the extended clips on YouTube. There's like 5 minutes of it or whatever. It's maybe a bit more, but all in all, the Hobbits, if I could go back in time, whether or not I see them again in movies and pay money for them, depends on my financial state.
I feel like we'll talk more about this if we ever do a Lord of the Rings Tolkien episode where we
Yeah.
just kind of review them all.
I would be surprised if we did at some point.
Yeah. We're going to run out of movies to
same
watch
with like
eventually.
Star Wars and something like that.
Yeah.
We'll probably talk about it.
Exactly.
Well,
Closer when Star
probably
Wars
when
comes up.
8 comes out, we'll do like an episode, maybe 2.
Yeah,
or maybe 3.
Do prequels.
Prequels, original, and then build up to the 8th or something like that.
Yeah, kind of like Rogue One and our predictions and excitements.
Mhm.
Something like that.
Oh, there's so many excitements. I love Star Wars. Moving on.
What else did I have? I had Green Lantern.
Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah.
Oh man, that was a movie where they had so much potential and fucked it up.
So coming out of that movie, I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it either. I've enjoyed myself when I watched the movie the first time.
Yeah. I've seen it since.
And don't enjoy it as much. Maybe it's just because I was younger.
You know, probably.
Maybe it's because
grade 8, I think we were in.
I was definitely around that time. Like, we weren't as educated as we are now.
And let's be honest, the only good part of that movie
Ryan
is
Reynolds.
the cloud. Oh.
Stop making villains clouds. We'll get back to that. No, see, the thing about that movie is they didn't have a bad cast.
No.
Especially Ryan Reynolds can carry a movie.
We've seen him carry plenty of movies.
Yeah, and like
he was the
fantastic
only decent part of Wolverine Origins.
And he can carry that movie.
And he
I feel like if they hadn't fucked him up at the end, he might have been able to. But
if they had done a half decent
Deadpool at the end, but yeah, that's the thing. Like Ryan Reynolds would have. He did actually. I think Ryan Reynolds did a good Green Lantern.
He did.
He wasn't the issue in that movie. Nope. I know in no way whatsoever was Ryan Reynolds or even that Hal Jordan the issue of the movie. It was honestly I haven't seen the movie in so long. I don't remember what the issue is. Definitely the Cloud. The villain sucks.
Yep.
What is Parallax? Is I can't remember. See, I hadn't read very many Green Lantern comics.
Yeah.
But I know I'm pretty certain Parallax is in the Cloud.
I'm certain he's not either,
because comic books have more imagination than that.
Yeah.
Like giant men in purple suits.
Yes. Instead of...
Are you looking at a picture of Parallax?
No, I'm trying to... There's cast members that I'm trying to remember.
Oh, what was her name?
Mark Strong was Sinestro.
Yep.
Cool.
Parallax. What was the chick's name?
What chick?
His love interest. What's her
Carol
name?
Ferris?
Carol Ferris.
Blake Lively.
Blake Lively, that's her. Are they married now?
Oh! I don't know. Yes, they are. Taika Waititi?
The chick who plays...
No, he's a dude.
Okay.
He's the director of the new Thor movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Did he direct that, or was he in it?
He was in it, but he's directing...
That's Parallax in the comics. That would have been so much cooler to see.
That is certainly better than a Cloud.
I don't see why people... Like, yeah, that's like... I don't know why they keep making villains in the clouds. Like, the villains from comic books, yeah, they look ridiculous, but that's why it's so fun.
Yeah.
Like, gigantic yellow bug-looking things or gigantic men in purple suits, but... I don't know, the plot to Green Lantern was weird. Honestly, I would have been so much more satisfied if they had done the first half of that movie was him getting the ring, going to Oa, and then Sinestro betrayed him as the villain.
And then have the Sinestro Corps.
Yeah, or even
great.
just Sinestro by himself, and he's fighting and he just fights Hal or something like that, or fights off a couple lanterns, and then he retreats at the end of the movie and makes the Green... That could have been the They could have set up a Green Lantern universe. The DCEU could have started years ago if they hadn't...
Well, they tried.
They did try. But, I don't know, it's just... I feel like... I'm not saying you couldn't have had Parallax at any point. I'm saying, 1, don't make him a Cloud, and 2... Even if you had him as a villain for the first movie, they just had to do it better.
Yeah.
And they just didn't. The plot was funky. No amount of good acting could have saved that movie.
No.
They obviously tried. Ryan Reynolds does a great job, and he just couldn't save that movie. Which is too bad, because all in all, like, Hal Jordan Green Lantern is a fun character, and seeing Ryan Reynolds in that role would have been a fun time. I think he would have made a great addition to DCE.
Yeah.
Him and Flash throwing back quips would have been fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And then Batman just rolling his eyes at everything they say, because he's Batman.
And then Henry
Superman
Cavill looking really
majestic as
sad
fuck.
with his mustache.
Oh, please. And Gal Gadot looking absolutely fucking beautiful, and we're getting off topic here.
Yeah.
But oh well, it is what it is. Oh well. Oh well.
Ha!
I'm sorry, that was bad.
That was not your best word.
That was not my best word.
Your pun last night was better.
It was a lot better. So, I don't know. See, some of these movies I haven't seen in such a long time, I don't know what to say about them.
I'm gonna give you a real throwback. Green Hornet.
Was that a bad movie?
I don't remember. It's not on my list, but I just kind of thought of it yesterday.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. We could watch that sometime.
I can't remember anything about it. Seth Rogen?
It's Seth Rogen and that Asian guy.
The Asian guy who makes cappuccino art?
And is the only useful part of that team.
Yeah. And then the car. I don't know.
Oh, the car, yep.
That's it. I have no idea.
I couldn't even tell you if that was a good movie or not.
Can't tell you the plot.
It's been a long time, though.
It's been a while.
Green Hornet was a long time ago. And it's not a movie I've seen more than, like, maybe
I saw
more
it
than twice.
in theaters in grade 8.
Oh, I don't even know if I saw it in theaters. I couldn't tell you. I don't remember. Anyways, what's the next movie on the list?
I got Mission Impossible 5.
And now... I don't know if I've seen that.
I didn't hate Mission Impossible 5. It was quite good, but I walked out of Mission Impossible 4 going, what a fantastic movie.
Was that
Ghost Protocol? Like, I loved that movie coming out of it. I was like, geez, that was
good. One
one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. Like, oh my god, best movie ever.
And then compared to
Rogue Nation, it was just like, yeah,
It's alright.
it was fine.
Solidly okay.
I'm kind of looking forward to Mission Impossible 6 with mustached Henry
Henry
Cavill
Cavill?
now.
Oh,
That'll be
yeah.
fun.
Anything that has Henry Cavill looking beautiful is, Actually, I can't even say that because I didn't see The Man from U.N.C.L.E., but...
I heard that was good.
I actually heard it was good, too. I heard it was, like, not great, but, like, good.
Good.
Like, solidly okay.
Like an average movie.
Like, I'd say, like, probably, like, low A, high B. But, I don't know. Yeah, Mission Impossible 6 would probably be cool. I hadn't seen Mission Impossible 5, so I can't really say anything about it. Whether or not I'd spend movie on it again, if I'd go back and spend the money on it again. It's still up in the air.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to fly through these ones because like there's not much to say about them. Skyfall was the next one on my list.
Skyfall.
I saw that one in theaters with Broken Leg Chick actually.
Broken Leg Chick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That Broken Leg Chick.
Broken Leg Chick. Nice.
That was interesting.
Oh boy, I saw Skyfall in theaters. I don't think I hated it. Whether or not I think that's similar to The Hobbit, where it's like it's a movie. Whether or not I'd spend money on it again depends on my financial state at the time.
Yeah.
Like I didn't hate it, but also it wasn't as good as I think Casino Royale.
Casino Royale was the best.
I think was that the second or the first one?
Quantum
of Solace was one of them, and Casino Royale was
Casino Royale was the first Craig one. The remake of Casino Royale.
The first Craig one, yeah.
So the Craigs go Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, Spectre, and they're making a fifth one with Craig.
Are they? I thought he was done.
That's what I thought too, but...
Interesting. I haven't seen Spectre. I saw the other three.
Fine.
The first three. Skyfall was probably the worst of them all.
Yeah.
But when I say worst, I mean in comparison. Yeah. Like, it wasn't a
good action movie.
It was your average action movie, actually. Like, maybe slightly below average.
It didn't set any trends. It didn't...
I feel like the movie would have been almost the same whether or not it was James Bond. That's the thing.
I agree.
Like... It was James Bond, but like if it wasn't, it probably could have been about the same. Whereas like Casino Royale and Quantum Solace, although I haven't seen them in like a very long time, I remember walking out of those movies like really having enjoyed watching them.
Yeah.
And really having enjoyed watching Daniel Craig beat James Bond stuff like that.
Yeah.
So Skyfall had that. Is it Adele song? No,
it's
probably the coolest part of that movie. And by coolest, I mean it wasn't.
Yeah.
I just like singing the song because it sounds fun.
Yeah, that's fair.
Little opening.
Yep. I think the next I had was Iron Man 3, but I don't even hate that movie. Like, I don't find it disappointing. It just wasn't...
I find it disappointing. Well, disappointing is, like, your hopes compared to...
Yeah, alright.
It was definitely disappointing, but, like...
So this is more of a retroactive disappointment. When I saw it the first time, I really enjoyed it. And then Thor 2 came out, and it was still pretty good. But then Winter Soldier came out, and you're like, alright, compared to Winter Soldier, Iron Man 3 looks like a 7-year-old made it. Like,
yeah. I don't know, I was slightly disappointed walking out of it. Like, it wasn't like I walked out of it and I was like, holy fan-fortastic, that was horrible, but...
I think that's our next one.
Yeah, I want that the last one, but I walked out of it and I was like, Marvel, you can do better. And I was like, as a person, I'm not a huge Marvel comics fan. I've watched all their movies and played a bunch of their video games and stuff like that. Like, I know Marvel.
Yeah.
But I can't go super in-depth. But I do know the Mandarin. And he's a pretty cool villain. I was excited he was going to be in the movie, and then he wasn't actually in the movie. I was like, that's kind of snaky.
Yeah.
Like, because they advertised that Mandarin is a villain, too, and he wasn't.
Yeah. And then they backpedaled and got him into the universe.
For some reason, yeah. Why would they just do it in the first place? I don't understand.
Well, it was... So, the actor that played Aldrich Killian, the extremist guy, it was his idea to make the Mandarin not the Mandarin.
Well, that was a bad idea.
Yeah, it really was. So it was his idea, and because he's a big actor and they paid him a lot of money, they just kind of ran with it.
Who was he?
Guy Pearce.
Alright, right. Okay.
And then they saw the fan problems, and some fan probably was like, well, why don't they just actually be in the universe? And Marvel was like, alright, yeah, we can do that. So I'm going to make a
5-minute, or like a 10-minute little bit.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
But still. Like, what's the point of having him in the universe when Iron Man, his main adversary, is going to die in the Infinity War, so it's kind of useless now.
Yeah.
Too late. Too little too late.
It was purely to get the fans to
service.
shut up.
Yeah, probably, but... I don't know. Iron Man 3 was by It was one of the worst Marvel movies. I mean, it's still like by itself, it's still a fine movie. It's just it was one of the worst Marvel movies. Probably it's down there with Thor: The Dark World and Thor.
I liked the first Thor.
The first Thor was solidly okay, but it's not as good as the first Iron Man, the first Captain America,
yeah.
or the first Avengers, or the first Ant-Man, or the first Spider-Man.
I thought Thor was better than Ant-Man.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I think Ant-Man's fantastic.
I love Ant-Man.
Just because of how unique it was.
Yeah, well, Thor was unique at the time.
I guess, but he's like... I don't know, he's just... Thor's like your like thunder god, he's like your superhero. But Ant-Man's such a weird
Iron Man
hero.
fought Ironmonger.
Yeah.
Hulk fought Abomination, so purely origin-wise.
Yeah.
Ant-Man fought Yellow Jacket. Likes fighting likes for 3 movies. Thor at least wasn't fighting another thunder god. He was at least fighting a gigantic robot thing. So at least it was
I can
something
see where you're
different. Yeah.
I can see where you're coming from. I personally like Ant-Man better, but like I'm not gonna go out of my way and say it. The first Thor was definitely better than the second one. And it wasn't a bad movie. Out of the first phase, that was probably my least favorite. Well, okay, I don't really count Hulk. Do you count Hulk?
Yeah. It's in the universe.
I guess. But
Thunderbolt Ross, Iron Man shows up at the end of it.
I have seen it once in my life and I never watched it again, so... Because, the thing is, when I look at Hulk, I'm like, that's not Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
So it's, like, weird to me to think of it as part of the universe, because there's also other Hulk movies that were kind of sequels to that, but then weren't sequels to that because they were even worse.
Well, then by that logic, Iron Man isn't in the universe. Because War Machine isn't, Black or Terrence Howard.
Well, no, it was Iron Man still in the universe, just... War Machine isn't. I'd be okay with that.
But
War Machine's useless.
Thunderbolt Ross is still in the universe. And
I'm not saying that it's not the universe. I'm just saying, like,
I'm
of all the movies, it's like, I forget it. It's the one I forget about.
Yeah.
Because it's just, it's literally inconsequential.
Came out like 2 months after Iron Man.
Jesus. If you were to ask me when it came out without you having just said that, I would honestly say, like, years before Iron Man.
2008.
What it feels like. I don't know. Hulk is just like, you know how every other Marvel movie kind of has had an impact on a larger world?
Yeah.
I feel like Hulk had none. If you see, I was talking to
besides the few news clippings in the background of Daredevil.
Yeah. When I was talking to Nicole about getting her up to date on the Marvel movies, I was like, the one I'll give you an option for is Hulk. I don't really care if we watch Hulk, but we have to start from Iron Man and go everywhere. You can watch Hulk if you want. That was like basically how I look at it. Is like if you're gonna be up to date in Marvel, if you're gonna skip one, Hulk's the one you skip.
Yeah, I guess.
Because it has I feel like it has the least impact. But
I still have my fingers crossed that we might see the Abomination back in Infinity War.
That'd be interesting. Why? Well, not why you asked for it, but why would he come back?
He's still chilling in a containment facility up in Antarctica. Why wouldn't Thanos just kind of like, here, have some fun.
Have some fun. They could. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
And now Hulk can talk.
Kind of, possibly.
Maybe.
I don't know.
He likes fire, I guess.
He does like fire.
Maybe he's a firebender. No, that'd be weird.
That would be really interesting.
Fire. Hulk throwing fire. I feel like Hulk's overpowered enough as this.
There's the Red Hulk, who is on fire as he gets more angry.
Sure. Fair enough.
Any other movies you want to talk about before we get into the real stinker of the episode?
The Golden Globe of horrible movies.
Let's see.
I can't think of one anymore. I'm sure there are more that we're not thinking of, but...
Well...
Does that mean it's time?
You know what that is.
Dun, dun, dun.
Fan-for-tastic.
Oh boy. Alright, so this is probably the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. And whether it's the worst movie I've ever seen in my life because it's the worst movie I've ever seen in my life, or it's the worst movie I've ever seen in my life because of the expectations I had for it and then were disappointed for it, that was a big word thing.
That's a long
That was condensed. Sentence. You might have to slow that down.
I don't know how to do that.
Oh, I'm talking about that. Right.
Oh.
That's not our work, that's their work.
Good, yeah. Fuck you guys.
Our fucking listeners. There's a word an adjective I was gonna put there and couldn't place it, so I just said... That works. Our loyal listeners. Anyways.
Dedicated fans.
Dedicated fucking fans. That's what I like. I'll autograph your boobs or something, or your babies, or... Do our fans have babies? Probably not.
We don't have fans.
We have like 5.
No.
And 4 of them are our friends, and one of them is your aunt.
Yeah, okay.
Fair enough.
She doesn't have a baby you can autograph.
Ah, damn it. I'll autograph Christian's boobs. Actually, no, because I need like a white Sharpie. Is that racist, dude?
Yes, but there are such a thing, so I'm sure we can make it work.
Fair enough. We should get back to where we were. Fan-for-tastic starring, what's his name, Miles Teller and...
Kate Mara
and Michael B. Jordan and The Thing.
I don't even know.
And that guy who played...
Who mocapped The Thing.
And that guy who played Doom. What
I don't
wasn't
know his
Doom?
name.
I don't really care.
Yeah.
No offense. As a person, I'm sure you're fine,
He's
but
probably.
but that was the worst thing ever.
It didn't do anything that the Fantastic Four would do.
So the first Fantastic Four movies that Fox made, the Fantastic Four had their powers within like the first 15-20 minutes.
And then
This one, it took like 50 minutes for them to even get their powers. They were just building a space shuttle for a stupid long time.
Of them just building.
Like, it wasn't even a space shuttle, it was like an interdimensional thing.
Yeah.
It was weird and...
There was way too long of a scene of Ben and Reed at a science fair when they're clearly adults and most of the people around look like they were 12.
Yep. I don't... Where do we begin with this movie? Should we just start from the beginning and go through it all with everything that was wrong, culminating with the horrible thing that was Doctor Doom?
Okay, I'm gonna give it one or two good things. There was a couple cool Easter eggs. There was the teacher making a reference to Reed building a flying car. That was kind of cool. Yeah, that might have been it, actually.
I don't really know. I don't know what to say. Like, the movie just... I don't think I've ever been so lost from a movie early on in the movie.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of movies we talk about on this list where when I walked out of them, I didn't necessarily dislike them as much as I do now. Even like Suicide Squad, when I first walked out of the movie, I was like, it wasn't good, but it was alright, I guess. Same with Green Lantern. I walked out, I was like, it was fine.
Yeah.
I legitimately walked out of this movie hating it. I was chirping it before I even started going down the steps of the theater.
Yeah.
Like, that's how bad this movie is.
Did you stay to the end to see if there was an end credit scene?
No, I didn't care.
Oh, I did. We sat there.
Was there?
Nope. Boy. No end credit scene, no Stan Lee cameo.
You know it's want to be part of this.
No.
It's just like, I am not a critic, and I
What?
could not stand that movie. I'm nice to movies.
Yeah, I know.
Relatively
Yeah,
nice.
Me too. Like, generally speaking.
I'm pretty nice to movies. Like,
I've gotten a bit harsher now, but I think it's because I've been watching a lot of reviews.
podcasts and stuff like that, yeah.
But
I don't know, it's just
even
like,
so, I'm still very nice
Yeah,
to
like-
stuff.
there's, like, I'm very forgiving when it comes to movies. There's nothing to forgive. Nothing. Like, it starts off, and you're like, the first, 10 minutes are fine, I guess. Like, they're like, it's introducing Reed Richards and Ben Grimm's relationship, and that was
kind.
It was cool. It
Yeah.
was whatever. It would if the rest of the movie had been okay, that would have been fine.
Yeah.
But it was whatever. And then it goes through meeting Reed Richards and Ben, and Richards is smarter than Ben and inventing things, and has a bit of an interdimensional portal thing going on, and then,
They don't think it's interdimensional at the time.
No, and then Sue Storm, for some reason they felt the need to make her adopted.
Yeah, so that's one of my biggest problems with it. Like, there was a whole lot of backlash about Johnny Storm being black.
That's not the issue.
I don't give a shit.
As long as they're both the same color.
Make them both black.
Yeah.
They don't come from an adopted family. That takes a lot away from their characters.
Yeah.
Because she says how she's, she's adopted and she doesn't feel like that. Johnny and Sue are very close.
Yeah,
for the reason.
The Fantastic Four is a family. They're Marvel's first family, and that's not an exaggeration. They are a legitimate family, and all of them actually are related by name or by blood, except for Ben Grimm. But they are a family. And in this movie, they're not. They almost disconnected at points in time. And it's not like they're just doing it for plot devices. Like, you just don't feel the same connection. Even the original Fantastic Four movie, as mediocre as it was,
Watched it the other day.
it's not that bad.
Yeah.
And at least it kind of captures some elements of the Fantastic Four.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It has the characters right, which this movie did not.
Except for Doom. But no one has done Doom right.
No. And we're getting a Doom movie, but that'll be interesting.
Yeah, we'll see.
But, Reed Richards kind of being weird and going off on his own and, kind of being rebellious.
Reed Richards being Johnny Storm, and Johnny Storm being Reed
like,
Richards, and...
I wouldn't... If Michael B. Jordan played Reed Richards and Miles Teller played Johnny Storm, that would have been fine. That would have been a good casting.
That actually would have made more sense, because then Johnny Storm and Sue Storm could be siblings, and they want to be adopted. And you should recast the dad, because he's such an unimportant part. Who cares?
I don't even know his name.
I want to say it's
Daddy
Ben,
Storm, but I don't think it is.
He's Daddy Storm.
Maybe it's because I'm thinking it's Ben Urich, because I'm just racist.
Because you're looking at black father figures.
But, it's just so much was bad with it.
Everything was bad. Ben
Grimm was like just overly pissed off at Reed the whole movie for no reason.
I think Ben Grimm was like the least bad of them all, just because he had almost no effect, and every effect that the other characters made was negative.
Yeah.
So just by default, Ben Grimm was the least worst of them all because he was so inconsequential.
What?
Like, and that's bad when the best character in that movie is only the best character in that movie because he was completely inconsequential and everyone else is negative.
Yeah.
And they didn't have like a bad cast either. Like Miles Teller, Kate Mara, Michael B. Jordan's probably the best of them all. He's made a lot of good movies. Like they're not a bad cast.
Did you see that movie with Zac Efron, Michael B. Jordan, and Miles Teller?
What? No, I'm gonna say no.
What's it called? It's a weird rom-com, sort of. Mostly calm.
Some rom. Like 75% calm?
Yeah.
And 25% rom?
Yeah.
Or like 20% rom and 5% credits?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not important. I don't remember. It's also not important.
But yeah, like, the amount of fucked up that they did with that movie was so bad. And it's even worse because in the interviews leading up to that movie coming out, the cast was like, "Oh, you're gonna be so excited! This movie's so good." I'm like,
Miles Teller was like, "Oh, we take the physics of this movie very seriously, and we take the physics of our powers very seriously, and blah 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 blah."
Can I ask why though? I don't go to a comic book movie to look for reality.
No.
I don't want to watch Superman flying through the air and then they explain the physics of Superman flying through the air. I want to see Superman doing what Henry Cavill did and just like doing his little cool like flying thing. And I don't want to know why fucking Wonder Woman has a lasso that can make people tell the truth.
Yeah.
I don't care about the physics behind magic.
The chemical makeup.
The chemical makeup of the fucking pheromones of the lasso. Yeah.
God.
I like comic books because they're comic books and they're
fun.
not real.
I suspend disbelief and I just have a good time.
Now, take that with a grain of salt. I'm not saying make it super unrealistic.
Of
I'm
course.
not saying like make it fucking stupid. But you don't need to go in depth and explain all the physics and technology. Imagine how long it would take for them to explain the physics and technology behind Iron Man's suit.
Right.
It would take a movie to explain how Iron Man's suit works.
Iron Man's suit is magic,
and it wouldn't
that's
work.
just technology.
Yeah,
right?
and it wouldn't work in real life.
No.
But that doesn't matter because it's fun. And that's what comic books are. They're fun.
Christopher Nolan did it well, having a realistic Batman.
But Batman works because he doesn't have superpowers.
Right, but that took out a lot of his rogues gallery. Because you couldn't have super weird Bane, you couldn't have a killer Croc because... or even like Mr. Freeze. You couldn't have... Yeah, it took out a bit of that, but I still really love it.
Oh yeah, the Christopher Nolan movies are fantastic. And they did pick realistic villains for that.
They played it. They did what he meant to do.
Yeah, but that only works for a limited amount of superheroes, and by limited I mean specifically pretty much Batman.
And that's why we can't. That's why the Dark Knight trilogy aren't in the DCEU
because it wouldn't fit.
Exactly.
Tonally, that wouldn't fit.
No, and Christopher Nolan has said many times that there's no superpowers in this universe.
Yeah, and as a contained Batman universe, I like that.
Yeah, and I don't want them to fuck with it.
No, don't ever touch Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. It is the Dark Knight trilogy, and leave that forever because it is a gem to humanity. Thank you, Christopher Nolan, for doing that. I appreciate it.
Notice how much we don't want to talk about Fantastic that we're not talking.
We're
about
literally
Batman.
tensioning because we just fuck. Like so the movie's just uneventful. Like it was a superhero movie. It had like 2 fight scenes, and one of them was 30 seconds of Reed Richards and Ben Grimm.
Yeah.
And then the other one wasn't even a fight scene. It was just Dr. Doom looking at people and their heads exploding.
Yeah, and then the big fight, in quotes, was when they
he had powers.
Oh! You just blew up 17 people's heads.
With your mind!
4 people come into the place that gave you your powers. You're like, I feel like I could do something when they're charging at me like this, but I'm just gonna stand here and let the invisible thing punch me into the thing, and then say his catchphrase that his brother used to say as he abused him as a child.
Jesus, I didn't even pick up on that until now. Oh my god.
His brother used to beat him and say it's clobbering time.
That is dark.
Yeah.
Fox, what the fuck? Marvel's the fucking Fantastic Four are fun. They're not even like tragic heroes. They're not Batman who's a hero because his parents died. They're fun heroes. Like Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man actually has a tragic element. Like Wonder Woman. She's fun. She's not that tragic.
Didn't her mother die? No, her aunt died.
In the movie. Her aunt may or may not have died in comic books. I don't really know. I haven't really read very many.
It wasn't in the first 6 issues of the New 52 run, and that's all I read.
Or like Flash. Flash is a relatively fun hero. His
Other
mom
than
died.
His mom, and then
his
dad.
dad. Why did every hero have a fucking tragic background?
Because that's what it needs to be.
Fantastic Four does it without.
I know.
Fantastic Four has a great story, and it's not tragic. She's minus.
Except for Sue's 7 miscarriages.
Plot device.
No, I don't know if
Has
that's
she actually
true.
had some?
I have
I was
no
gonna
idea.
say, Jesus Christ, Marvel, what the fuck? Why is that even a fun story? Why are you writing that?
Yeah.
That's probably why your comics don't sell. Anyways, I just, God, I hate Fantastic. Like, why do we need 45 minutes for them to even get their powers? How long was the movie? Do you remember?
No.
It was an indiscriminate amount of time.
2
where you were
hours,
shaking your
probably.
head. It was literally half the movie before they even got their powers.
Yeah.
And then when they got their powers, it wasn't even fun. It wasn't fun like in the first Fantastic Four movie where Johnny Storm accidentally sets himself on fire and he's like, what the hell's happening? Or
Yeah, no, it
Sue
was like
Storm's losing her clothes and shit.
Reed runs off. You don't see him for a bit. You see Johnny and Sue training.
Johnny
you get,
being responsible.
Yeah, you get like a 30-second clip of Ben punching things on a recon mission that Reed is watching off of a screen from what I remember.
Yeah, that was weird.
Like, another good thing that I kind of liked was Reed using his powers to change his face. I thought that was clever.
That is cool.
There's the two things. Two things that were kind of decent about that movie.
Why was Johnny Storm responsible? There's one quote from Fantastic Four: The Silver Surfer, and as much as I would never replace Chris Evans as Captain America, he also did a great Johnny Storm. And he's like, Johnny, chase him. He's like, but the suit is Gucci.
Yeah!
Johnny Storm, man.
Like, that is...
Not okay, team. We gotta get together and practice our
We're
powers.
gonna use
do
our
good.
powers to do good for the world.
Shut up.
No!
That is Reed Richards.
I
You are
want
Johnny
you
Storm
to be irresponsible and go bang 17 different chicks in 3 nights.
Yeah, like that is, like you're a hothead, literally and figuratively.
Okay, and let's talk about the director.
Who was the director?
Josh Trank.
What
He
did
did Chronicle.
That was a cool movie.
That was a great movie.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
How did you fuck this up so bad? That also has superpowers. You're not even going that far out of your element.
Yeah.
Like
I'm pretty sure Michael B. Jordan is also in that.
Is he?
I don't know, it's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah, it's been, there was a black guy. I don't remember who it was.
Yeah, I know.
But like, I just don't understand. Like, it's almost like they want. There's one thing if failing at making a successful movie, it happens. But they made like. It seems like they went out of their way to make it bad.
I'm willing to bet money that Josh Trank was just sitting in a room with a bunch of people, smoking a fat one, going, I bet I could make a Fantastic Four movie without reading a single comic. Like he just didn't understand anything, or the writers didn't. Like,
it was just. Suffice to say, if I could go back in time and take back the money I spent on Fantastic, I would. Like, without a doubt, without even a second of hesitation, I would go back. There are literally movie stores giving away that movie because they don't want them in stock. Like, that is how bad this movie is.
I heard a fun story of a couple times people went up to George Clooney and complained about whichever Batman movie he did.
Batman and Robin?
Yeah, and so he just asked them how much they paid for the movie, and he just refunded them.
Really?
Yeah, someone was just like going up to George Clooney and just bitching about Batman and Robin. And it's like, how much did you? What is it? Like $10? Here, leave me alone. Like
That's nothing out of George Clooney's bank account.
That's what I need Josh Trank to do to me. I need him to come to my house, hand me the $16.
Yeah, because movies are expensive now.
Head out.
I'll let him get by with the popcorn and drink. I want the ticket back.
Yeah. You know what? Because I enjoy the popcorn and drink.
Even with the
best
movie,
part of the movie.
It was. The popcorn and the drink was the best part of the movie.
Ugh. Actually, move on.
I took a girl to that. I paid for 2 tickets for that movie.
Ugh.
Cries.
Ugh. So Game of Thrones, can we move on?
Let's move on. Talk about
Thank
Game of Thrones, please.
That was a good episode, Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
spoiler alert.
spoilers. There's going to be spoilers.
Yeah.
And we might even theorize a little bit, so if you're like Andrew and who don't like that, since he's not here for this one, we might theory a little bit.
Maybe a tiny bit.
Maybe a tiny bit.
Yeah.
So if you don't like that also, just be careful if we start theorying.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is it? What does it start off with? There was
John showing up on the shores of Dragonstone.
That was an intense.
The episode name, The Queen's Justice, that was well named. Because she definitely did some things.
Fuck. Oh my god.
Well, I think we'll talk Cersei at the end.
We'll talk Cersei at the end, or during the middle when Cersei comes up. So John arrives on Dragonstone. That was awkward. And it was a fun awkward.
Yeah.
Davos is making conversation with Missandei, and John's just like, I don't even know what I'm doing. And then they get to that thing, and they need to stop reading out Daenerys' whole name.
Yeah, that was great. And then this is Jon Snow. Pause.
King of the North.
Yeah.
If they took out every single time they read off all of Daenerys' name, they could have legitimately added another episode.
I think so. But I loved the part when they were walking up the steps and then Drogon just flies over and they
died on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hilarious. I'd say you get used to it, but you don't.
Yeah.
That was fun. I think every single person who's been watching Game of Thrones has been waiting for this moment since season 1. Everyone knew Ice and Fire would come together.
Yeah.
Everyone knew it was Jon Snow and Daenerys.
Yeah.
And it was fun.
Yeah.
I walked away from that, or I guess I didn't walk away from it. They walked away from the scene, and I was like, Daenerys, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You played that wrong.
Yeah.
But like,
she's trying to be too cocky. And
she is.
She's trying to
especially
puff
for
her
someone who's
chest
completely losing that war.
Yeah.
But like,
Mind you, when they met, she'd only lost one battle.
and she didn't even know that yet.
Yes.
She learned that during the conversation. But still, actually, before we get into that, real quickly, that Missandei and Varys, it's not Melisandre. Sorry, Melisandre and Varys conversation.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come back to Westeros to die, or something about Varys' death, and he's just like, excuse me.
Yeah.
Are they like teasing that Varys is gonna die soon?
I don't think he's gonna die this season.
No,
because that's not a Game of Thrones fashion to tease the death.
that's
right.
But they do prophesize some stuff like Robb Stark, Balon Greyjoy, Joffrey Baratheon.
Those were kind of like almost thrown away. Like it's for the scene for Stannis' character development. What are the odds this magic will actually work when you're watching season 3 for the first time?
I guess, yeah.
Right? Like, she took a leech off of Gendry's dick and threw it into the fire. How is that going to kill Robb?
Well, let me fucking tell you. Oh, I don't want to talk about Robb Stark's death anymore.
They did set up the Red Wedding a lot. Rewatching the series, the clues were there.
I know. They took a long time to kill Balon Greyjoy. We're getting off topic.
Yeah, we are.
Balon Greyjoy died earlier in the
He
book,
won
so
the War of the
I
Five Kings. Last king standing.
Was he?
Yeah.
And in the show, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he died in the books like first. I'm pretty sure he's the first one to die.
Who cares?
Balon Greyjoy, no one gives a fuck. Yeah. So Daenerys and Jon, I love how she just goes off on a rampage, and he's like, "Okay, I understand, but no. Listen to me for a second. White Walkers."
Yeah.
Although to be fair, Jon Snow could probably describe this better. And instead of like, he's like, he kind of just assumes people will believe him at that point. He's like, "Yeah, that's cool, but the Army of the Dead, we should fight them instead of Cersei." And she's like, "Army of the Dead? What the fuck are you talking about?" He's like, "White Walkers, Night King." She's like, "What the hell's a Night King? I don't understand what you're saying." It's like, White Walkers are a myth.
Yeah.
You should probably like lean them into a little bit, like
Now,
give them a bit of an intro before, like, by the way, the Army of the Dead's coming.
When Davos was, talking up Jon and said he took a knife to the heart and they had that look,
and they're like,
why wouldn't you just be like, "Oh yeah, I died, came back to life. Why are you not?" Melisandre's
you think they're
here.
gonna believe that? They don't know Melisandre's there though.
I guess.
They're not gonna. You don't tell people that. No one's gonna believe that. Especially this chick who just came to Westeros after being in Essos. She's not gonna believe you took a knife to the chest and was resurrected from the dead.
I guess.
Like, she's seen a lot of people die now and come back from the dead. She's not gonna believe that without some sort of proof, and they don't have any. I feel like they don't want to display that either. Like, just like give that to a bunch of people, because honestly, I don't think Jon wants the attention.
No, he definitely doesn't.
He doesn't want the attention for that. So, but yeah, that was a fun scene. As much as I was like, Daenerys, your plan is wrong. It was like, that was like the scene people have been waiting for a very long time. Is Daenerys and Jon meeting, and it was cool. I quite enjoyed it. I don't know what else to say about it though. So we can move on.
Sansa once again playing directly into
Littlefinger's hands. She thinks she's so much smarter. She's not. Littlefinger's winning. Littlefinger's always winning. Bran!
That was cool.
Came back to Winterfell. I see it. They said someone's at the gates, and I immediately knew it was going to be Bran because they said his name, his intro in the flashbacks of previously in Game of Thrones. Yeah. They didn't show Arya, they showed Bran. Yeah. So I knew it was going to be Bran.
Well, and then
Arya.
Isaac Hempstead was in the opening credits and Maisie Williams wasn't.
Yeah. That was cool though. Bran's a fucking dick.
He was
stone cold. Like his sister's there. She hugged him. And I don't think he hugged back.
No, he's just paralyzed from that far.
He was like staring ahead, straight face. And then they're at the Weirwood, and he's just like, "Yeah, by the way, I saw you get raped. That must have sucked."
Yeah.
And she's like,
"You looked pretty on your wedding night, though."
Yeah, thanks, brother.
Like
that was fucking savage.
Yeah.
And then he pulled a Jon and just like started like giving off terms that no one's getting fucking understand.
Well, he pulled a fucking what's his name?
Who?
Loras Tyrell. Iron Fist.
Iron Fist? Just like expecting people to believe him?
Oh, I'm the three-eyed raven.
What? I'm the immortal Iron Fist. What?
Like,
Yeah, I'm a three-eyed raven. What does that mean? Well,
I can see all things. How did you learn this? The three-eyed raven taught me.
But you're
didn't
the three-eyed raven.
you?
See, I told you it's confusing. Well, when you spend a minute explaining it, you piece of shit. It's honestly not that confusing if you give them the backstory.
Yeah. Okay, so when I fell out of a tree, out of
this vision,
I had this three-eyed raven chatting with me. I can warg into my direwolf that's now dead.
I can warg into Hodor.
I can warg into Hodor that's now dead. I can warg. I can see all things. I'm super all powerful.
I went north of the wall, found this guy who's in a tree, and if you touch a tree, you can see the past and the future, the present all at once. Jon Snow's not actually your brother, by the way. We'll get back to that.
Fought to some White Walkers. Wait, what? No, it's fine. Just
forget about that.
We'll get there. I'll tell you when you get home.
Mira Reed's pretty cool. Hodor's dead.
What happened to Rickon?
Yeah. Oh, don't worry though. I didn't bring Rickon with me. I sent him somewhere safe with.
He'll be good.
He'll be fine with the Umbers. Bran?
You didn't see that one?
What? What are you talking about? Here, let me touch the tree for a second. Oh my god! Ah!
Why didn't he just zigzag?
He's got like 6 arrows in him!
Just fade slightly to the left. God damn it.
He's like running straight away from a blitzcrank pole. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Bran did not do a good job of explaining that at all. But that was cold. That was fucking savage of Bran. But it was a fun scene though. Or finally, I feel like by the end of the next episode, all the Starks will be back together. Or at least Sansa, Arya, and Bran will be back together. I guess that is all the Starks.
Yeah.
And then Jon will be mining obsidian. But it'll be interesting seeing... I'm more excited to see Sansa and Arya. Because they fucking hate each other as kids.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're going to be like, oh my god,
see,
siblings.
I'm really excited to see Jon and Arya.
Jon and Arya, yeah, because they were actually good siblings. They were close. He gave her a needle.
Yeah.
Still using that to murder a lot of people.
Oh, there's so many.
Oh, Jon, you don't even know how many fucking lives I've taken in this thing.
That's great.
But yeah, that'll be for hopefully next episode, if not. But we'll see. And then Jorah Mormont.
That was good for him.
He's cured.
He is.
And good for Sam.
Good for Sam.
I love. He's like, there have been a lot of maesters who attempted this and failed. And you did it. How? I read the instructions.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Fair enough.
Something I really struggle with.
In labs. Yeah, we fucked that up a lot. That was fun, though. I did read a theory saying that Jorah's going to become really important because, similarly to a virus in real life, he's now going to be immune to grayscale. I put that in quotes because we don't actually know yet. Hypothetically, he might be immune to grayscale now, so he's one of the only people who can safely travel to Valyria. And one, Valyrian steel. Two, maybe find something out about the doom of Valyria or why Valyria is completely fucked out compared to how it used to be.
Or maybe some dragon eggs.
Maybe the dragon eggs. Who knows no one knows what you'll find in Valyria.
Yeah.
And he's one of the only people who might be able to safely go there now. So that's just a theory I heard.
Cool.
He might become super important in the plot. Although, obviously, Jorah's going to go back to Daenerys now. I have no idea what Sam's going to do now, other than copy down
scoop up shit.
Scripts. Yeah.
I think his arc's about done.
Maybe.
I think Jon's gonna be like, hey, we got a ton of stuff.
Did I tell you about the Sam as the narrator theory?
I've heard it.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I don't think Sam will be done. I just don't know what he's
at the
do.
Citadel. I think he's done at the Citadel.
Oh, well, maybe, but he doesn't have his chain yet. I feel like there's no point in going there if he doesn't have the chain.
The whole point was to learn how to kill White Walkers.
Yeah, but he hasn't yet.
No, but he found a bunch of obsidian.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll see. I think they'll do something clever with Sam. I just don't know what it is because they do a lot of good things that I don't expect in games. That's why I like the show so much, is I can't predict it as well as I can predict most other things.
So then I think that takes us to Euron, Illyria, Cersei.
Okay, you know how much I hate Cersei, and I think people who've listened to this also picked up how much I hate Cersei. Touche. That was one thing I'll be like, you know what?
Well played.
Touche. That was fucking savage, though. Holy shit. No mercy at all. She just tied her up and was like, I'm gonna poison your daughter with the same poison you used on mine. You're gonna watch her die, and then you're gonna rot. And watch her corpse fucking go to dust. It's like, holy shit, Cersei.
Yep.
But
and then
enough.
Euron poking out
Jaime. Oh my god. So, what is she like? What do you mean? Is she rough? Soft? Finger in the ass? And Jaime's like, oh boy.
Not right now. We'll talk later.
Euron is a good villain. He's such a cocky little... Although
him.
I think Euron is almost single-handedly the reason they're winning that war.
He certainly is.
He took out the Greyjoys, the Martells, and the Unsullied almost single-handedly.
Yep. Yeah, that Unsullied scene was okay. Like, I think they're saving their budget for a big, intense fight,
Yeah.
but that sucks.
Yeah.
They got fucked. They're gonna have to march across land.
He pulled a Rob Stark.
I love that. That was really
I learned
clever.
from my mistakes. Yep. That was see, say what you want about Rob, and yes, he did have a couple big fuck up. He was easily the best war commander in the War of the Five Kings at any point in time, and that's impressive, seeing as he rivals Tywin Lannister and even
he was
outplayed.
16 or 17.
Yeah, he's 14 in the books,
Yes,
like
I know.
16 in the show or something like that, and he outplayed Tywin Lannister, which is extremely fucking impressive. And they used that though. They used that strategy and fucking went with it, which we'll get to at the end of the show, at the end of the review. But yeah, that was. Oh boy, Cersei's the savage. Although she just doesn't care anymore. She's just like straight up like, they can see you in bed with me. I'm the queen.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do?
Yeah.
At this point, what is anyone gonna do?
Yeah. What, like,
No one else has even relevant power
in Westeros?
not in Westeros, but like in that area. Like no one in King's Landing or surrounding areas has even relevant amounts of power to Cersei right now. So what are they gonna do? And it's not like everyone doesn't know anyway.
Yeah.
It's just so who cares? But that was interesting. The Unsullied scene, like you said, I actually didn't see that coming. Like I knew there's gonna be a twist. Just the way they were setting it up, how there's like the Tyrion talking and like the thing happening, and like I knew something was gonna go wrong, but I did not expect the Lannisters.
I thought Grey Worm was gonna die.
So did I. That's what I thought they were building up to, was Grey Worm's death.
Yeah.
Because they kind of set up for it with Missandei in the
Yeah,
last
exactly.
episode, and then but no, Lannisters just abandoned Casterly Rock and destroyed another one of Daenerys' armies.
Took out Highgarden,
Which is huge, because
and then looted the shit out of them.
well, yeah, that's the thing.
And
Highgarden wasn't there for the army. They had an army, and like sure they could contribute some soldiers, but Highgarden's biggest thing was resources. They had so much food and wealth. They were like the sustain if that war took a while was Highgarden, and now they've lost Dorne.
Yep.
They've lost all of their fleets.
Yep.
Gone, all of it.
Cersei has the full back of Mycroft.
Is that the same actor?
Yeah.
Actually?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah.
You
Like,
didn't pick that?
no, I didn't.
When he popped up in season 4,
I didn't point out the actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has the Iron Bang. She's taking out. Daenerys is losing hard. When she says she doesn't really need Jon, she needs the North. She needs them now.
She does.
Because she, like, almost all of her army's gone. She has the Dothraki. And she'll be lucky if she sees any of the Unsullied again.
Yeah.
I'm sure they will because plot. But, like, it would be just as plausible for the Unsullied all to die in Casterly Rock or on the way back.
Yeah.
And
So then what she got 3 dragons and Dothraki.
and Dothraki, who are not going to win a war against armored
Not
Westerosi
gonna
knights.
win a fight on the battle.
No. So, Daenerys is frankly quite screwed. Should attack King's Landing.
I agree
I
now.
said so last episode. Everyone's like, no, she didn't want to murder a bunch of innocent people. I was like, you're gonna regret it.
Yeah.
Should have attacked King's Landing. See, that's the thing about the long game, is you're vulnerable to a blitz.
Yeah.
It's like if you set up your like a deep coverage, like the analogy I thought was football. You set up deep coverage for the Hail Mary pass. You're very, very open to a wide open pass underneath.
Yeah.
And then it's all about your players against the other players. And this, like, Cersei's players are just playing better. Euron ambushed them, yeah, but they could have turned that fight, but they didn't because Euron, his fighters were just better.
Yeah.
Which is impressive because they had sand snakes, and Euron just fucking destroyed them 2v1, like mucked them. Cersei's players are playing better, and they blitzed when they weren't defending against a blitz.
Yep.
And now she's in a very, very bad position.
That she is.
And I think Daenerys is overestimating her dragons as well.
I think so too. Because let's be honest, no matter if an armored dragon takes enough arrows and spears to the chest, it'll go down eventually.
Yeah, well, we saw the fight in the pit and Marine. Drogon did take damage.
Yeah.
Like, he killed everyone he got away, obviously, because there wasn't enough of them. He did take damage, though.
Yeah.
So eventually, you can take down a dragon. And if they ever hit the ballista, the shot with the big, I think that's what it's called, the ballista, I'm pretty sure. Like, that's at least enough to incapacitate, if not kill a dragon, depending on where they hit it. Like, she's overestimating the power of her dragons. And she can't, because she doesn't have an army to back them up anymore. It's not like if one of her dragons falls now, she's like, oh, at least I still have like 4 armies. Now she has 1, and it's not even that good of an army. Her dragons are her fighting force now. She needs Jon. So
I wonder if episode 4 she'll notice that. She'll realize that when Jon's still in Dragonstone.
she'll probably have to. I feel like she will.
Yeah.
That whole entire, she can kind of like disregard Jon because she doesn't need him.
Yeah.
That just changed.
Yeah.
A lot.
So then I think that takes us to Lady Olenna.
Savagery.
Oh,
She impresses me even when she dies.
I love her. She's one of my favorite characters. Will it be painful? No, I made sure of that.
Chugs it immediately.
I killed your son.
By the way, Joffrey, that was me. I'll take complete credit.
Dabs out.
Dab. Die. Although I'm impressed with Jaime's character development. Because when I saw that scene and I saw like the look on Jaime's face when she kind of said that.
I thought he was gonna.
Jaime Lannister in season 1 or like even first couple seasons, he would pull out the sword and butcher an old woman.
Yeah.
Jaime Lannister season 7 is a big enough person to walk away, and it's that character development that leads me to believe he might be the one to take out Cersei.
Yeah.
Nicole actually had a really good idea yesterday. We were talking about Game of Thrones yesterday, citing that I think the end of the season, the wall's gonna go down. And that's when the White Walkers are going to come in. I think up until then, Cersei will still be kicking. But at that point, everyone will kind of be turning their attention towards, oh shit, Jon was right. There's something coming. Maybe we should focus a little bit and then come back to this later. And I think what Nicole said is she thinks Cersei's going to be too crazy, too in-depth in this feud, this war. She won't be able to let it go. And that's why Jaime will take her out. Is because Jaime will be able to see
the big
this
picture.
is the survival of humanity
Yeah.
versus the winning of the Lannisters versus the Targaryens.
Yeah.
And everyone else is focusing, but my sister's too insane to see that we need to band together and survive as a race, not as a house.
Yeah.
And that's why, for the good of humanity.
I like it.
And it goes to Olenna saying like she's a disease, like she's a monster. Like he'll kind of see that like she's this monster who can't separate like right from wrong, or like can't separate a petty war against the survival of humanity, and that's why, which I really liked, because all the development that Jaime Lannister's done up to here, combined with all the things that are happening, could make it a big factor as to why that something like that could happen, which I thought was an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah,
so
that's very true.
And then Jon's mining obsidian.
Yeah,
I guess. The one scene when Tyrion comes up, he's like, "I came up here to brood. It's kind of hard. You look a lot better brooding."
Yeah.
I instantly was like, Jon Snow equal Batman?
Yes. Well, we're at about an hour and a half, so I think we should probably give the reviews and sign off.
True. The review. All right. Oh fuck. I gotta think.
Yeah.
Let's see.
La-di-da?
La-di-da.
Da-da-da-da. I'm just killing
time.
empty space.
I'm gonna say. I'm gonna give it 10 sufferings of Valeria.
Alright, sounds good. I'm gonna give it 8 kisses of death.
Kisses of death. Oh, we're both going back to that scene. Just
Yeah, it's a good
fucking
scene.
savage
It's
it
a good
was.
scene.
Alright, well, it's been good.
Yeah.
Fun.
If you wanna follow us and tweet us on Twitter, it's at the Mediocre Co, or you can probably just search Mediocre Company, and we'll be there. Our email is themediocreco@outlook.com. My personal Twitter is at Eric Wire. Hopefully soon I'm going to get these up on iTunes and SoundCloud. That's probably what I'm going to be doing in a couple days, doing some Googling. Feel free to hit us up.
Yeah,
if you got any questions, concerns, if
comments,
you want to...
suggestions.
Yeah, I think we should do an anime episode soon, maybe
we can
next
definitely
week.
do that. Yep,
Yeah, when
I'd
Angie
be
gets back.
super down for that. And but yeah, if anyone listening, if there is anyone listening, has any comments, suggestions, questions, anything like that, feel free to hit us up and we'll get that in the next episode. But for now, signing off. Thanks for listening. I'm Clayton.
I'm Eric, and for Andrew, lower your expectations.
Have a great day, kids.
Bye.